Welcome, everyone, to the Impact Post Show here in Atlanta. The fans have filed out of the historic center stage. We are just days away from Slammiversary. There is so much to dive into, especially the situation between the Knockouts World Champion, Deonna Purrazzo, and Trinity. How about Purrazzo putting her title on the line 2 days before her title defense against Trinity?
Hey, I mean, I wouldn't recommend it if I were still standing in the court of the virtuosa. You know, as much as I know she's capable, that would not be my strategy. But kudos to the gusto of the Knockouts World Champion, taking on all comers. That's how confident she is. Trinity should be concerned with that.
Yeah, Trinity should be very concerned with that, but also it seemed like the pleasantries went out the window. So we're going to dive into that a little bit later on, and also the decision that is at the feet of Scott D'Amore. What is he going to do about Slammiversary? We're going to dive into that in just a little bit, but I want to cycle back to our first matchup of the night. Zach Wentz back in an Impact Wrestling ring in action for the first time in nearly 3 years. November 2020, the Rascals farewell. Very, very somber for a lot of fans here in Impact Wrestling. This is a very different Zach Wentz, and let's not forget, he just pinned one half of the reigning Impact World Tag Team Champions tonight.
Yeah, what a way to come back on the scene, Zachy boy. I mean, like, I talked a little bit about it on broadcast, man. Like, I know Zach Wentz a little bit. I've been watching him, been a part of several events he's been out over the last, on his own, kind of reforming himself, building himself back up. He's been through a lot, and he's trying to get back on the right foot, and he's done it. And now, like I said, I think he's better than ever as an athlete, as a performer. So if you can overcome some of those personal hurdles, some of those emotional hurdles, all those things, those mental ones, and on top of that, up your physical game as a professional wrestler, that makes you very, very dangerous. And then throw the, generational talent, his buddy, fellow kid from the Treehouse.
Oh, the Treehouse is no more.
Oh, I know, but I like to get a little nostalgic. I'll throw it out to the deep cuts for the fans there at home. You know what I mean? But exactly, it's a whole new version of the Rascals. That's all evolved now, and I think they could be more dangerous than ever.
Trey Miguel felt like the fans had abandoned him. I believe Zach Wentz probably feels similarly, and now they're taking it out on everybody in Impact Wrestling. An important thing for Chris Bay on the losing end of this, not the best situation with the ABC with Slammiversary in 2 days, and they have to defend the championships in a four-way match. Moose and Myers got a win earlier on tonight against Swan and Callahan. Subculture are going to be fresh going into that, so very interested to see how the ABC rebound. Now, also this Saturday at Slammiversary in Windsor, Ontario, Canada, live on pay-per-view, Fight TV, and DAZN internationally. It's going to be a huge Impact World title match. Alex Shelley defending against Nick Aldis. As part of this broadcast, we got to see the individual journeys of both Aldis and Shelley on the way to Slammiversary. These are two polar opposites, and we know from Aldis that he takes it very personally that Alex Shelley doesn't necessarily count him amongst his star pupils.
Yeah, I mean, Alex Shelley talked about the influence he's had on professional wrestling, named all these talents that have gone on to become world champions under his tutelage. He kind of left Nick Aldis out of that, but Nick Aldis took that, to heart. He didn't like that, but I think he understands now that it was because he is different. He is not this Alex Shelley mold. He took those lessons, and he feels like that he evolved that to a whole nother level. He is different. And quite frankly, feels like he's better than Alex Shelley.
We're going to see who the better man is this Saturday at Slammiversary in Windsor. When we come back, the situation between Trinity and Purrazzo, and what is Scott D'Amore going to do?
At long last, it's Shelley's time!
The reigning and defending Impact Wrestling World Champion, Alex Shelley.
My dog, my company, my generation.
The former world champion, the national treasure, Nick Aldis.
I'll let you in on a little secret.
Oh my God!
I'm winning the Impact World Championship at Slammiversary.
Slammiversary, Saturday on pay-per-view.
The fans have made their way out here of center stage in Atlanta, Georgia. Our coverage continues at ringside. He's Rehwoldt. I'm Hannifan. This is the Impact Post Show. We're diving into what went down with the Impact Knockouts World Champion, Deonna Purrazzo, and Trinity this evening. Obviously, the moxie of Deonna Purrazzo is at an all-time high. Decided to issue an open challenge to any member of the Knockouts roster. Jody Threat put up a hell of an effort.
Absolutely.
Challenging for the Knockouts World Championship. Credit to Threat. Deonna Purrazzo beat someone who's been unbeaten here in Impact Wrestling over the last handful of months. Jody Threat debuting in April for this company. And at the same time, the gall to put the title on the line 2 days before this huge first-time ever matchup at Slammiversary. Trinity Purrazzo for the Knockouts World Championship. You know the Virtuoso better than anybody. What's she thinking right now?
I mean, the Virtuoso at a base is confident. We know that. She always has been. She's carried the Knockouts division on her back at several points in this company's history. So that's just her baseline. So the fact that she's coming here 2 days before one of the biggest Knockouts World title matches we've ever had, and she's throwing the title on the line almost for fun, that shows you the absolute level of confidence. And Tom, the magnetism of that confidence and everything clearly attracted almost the whole entire Knockouts
Basically
division.
the entire Knockouts division.
As this broke down into a melee at the end of the show.
And Jay Vidal was out there as well, because wherever Giselle Shaw and Savannah Evans go, he has to follow. But despite all that chaos, in the end, it was Trinity and Purrazzo standing. They both want the same thing, the Knockouts World Championship. And I, like you, I think we're happy to see the pleasantries over with. I want to see this fight. I want to see this matchup. This is one of the most important matches, I believe, in the history of Impact Wrestling, not just the Knockouts. Trinity's arrival in this company is monumental. She is a star. She has certainly gotten a lot of attention for Impact Wrestling. However, Purrazzo can make that all come crumbling down at Slammiversary.
Oh, yeah, and that's, I think, what is motivating Deonna Purrazzo. Again, she associates so much of her identity with carrying this division, with carrying that very championship. And so I think, again, an already confident athlete sees this wave, this wave of light, of star power and everything, and she can respect it, and she has.
Remember the
right?
reception Trinity got 2 weeks ago against Jay Vidal?
Oh, yeah.
Atlanta was going crazy.
The building was shaking, and I think, to a lot of opponents, pay-per-view opponents, that might cause you to shake a little bit. Deonna Purrazzo is unshakable, and I think she sees it as a challenge, and I think there's a part of her that is almost, there's a little bit of a spiteful nature in that, of like, okay, bring all of that, and I'm going to show you exactly why I am the best of the best of the best, and why I have been in this company for years.
Trinity knows what she wants. She said it the first night she stepped foot in this company, I want the Knockouts World Championship. Now, one thing that was extraordinarily interesting to end our broadcast was the actions of Scott D'Amore. Last week we saw this horrific scene as PCO was lit on fire by Bully Ray and Steve Macklin. That left Scott D'Amore with a decision to make and a phone call to make as we went off the air.
Look, we've tried everything, and apparently this time PCO can't come back to life. So my question is, can you?